Oh, happy Friday, Chris. It feels like it's been about 35 seconds since we did the last podcast, doesn't it?
It's going by quickly. It's a good thing.
Dang,
I think.
no. Well, that means we're dying faster.
That is true.
Gosh, I need this time to slow down. Slow down and give me more time to get things done.
You're home alone this weekend, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this will be the last one for a while. But it seems like all summer I've been home alone. It's been great.
Harp and I are home alone this weekend. We're going to party. It's
Yeah,
going to be fun.
that sounds like you're gonna be sweating the whole time.
Yeah,
It's a lot of work.
It'll be fine. It is a lot of work. She's a lot of work.
Yeah. Children are a lot of work.
That is true. Let that be a lesson to all of you listening. Let's see here. We got lots of people checking in. Minnesota, evidently, it's quite hot. Nick Heinzerling says it's hotter than heck. I think that's hot. And then our buddy Dan Pfeiffer, 95 plus for the next week up here in Minnesota. Wow.
Yeah. Well, it's 95 plus every day for us here in Central Florida.
it's warm today.
My AC is about to blow up. It can't keep up. So by like evening, it gets to like 78 degrees, and it fights all night to get back to 72. So I'm gonna have to buy a new air conditioner. God dang it! I'm never gonna be able to sell this house.
You can sell it just for not what you want to sell it for.
Right. I have to pretend that I didn't spend any money on it. I'm gonna sell it for what I paid for it. Yeah, not good. Not good. So
Right.
what else is going on?
Well, let me show you the thumbnail from today.
Yeah. Freaking people underestimate me. What is that? Like a 40-inch box jump, maybe?
I don't know.
I have to
Let's
measure it.
see.
Maybe 30. Yeah,
Yeah,
I would
let's
guess
go
about
measure it.
40.
Yeah, well, it prompted some questions. People wanting to know legitimately what's your box jump PR currently.
Currently, I'm not sure. My PR is 60 inches,
That's big.
but that's with an approach. I don't know what it is standing.
Standing vertical.
Yeah, standing's probably 50 something. Today, I don't know.
22.
No,
One Raptor.
in the 50s somewhere. If I have an approach, mid 50s, 50 something. If I can take like a 3-step approach or something like that. But it's easier when you do it on something that you can kind of kick out of the way. When you do something fixed, it's a little shadier. So you got to commit. But yeah, we'll measure the. I wonder if the Gen 2 Raptors we got a lift on. We'll have to measure.
Yeah, that's a little higher. You meant I want to try the same thing with the new Raptor.
Well, the thing that messed me up there, I didn't even think about it. I was just like, I got up in the bed several times. I'm like, I'm tired of like sitting on it. My butt's getting all wet. Then I have to, roll into it or slide into it. So instead, I'm just like, I'm just going to freaking jump up on here. And I forgot I had the hose in my hand. So it kind of pulled me a little bit while I was jumping. But yeah, whatever. Freaking people always underestimate me.
Like a jungle cat. Look at that.
They like project their own unathleticness on me just because I'm a little chubby, So
Chubby muscle.
yeah, I ate an athlete, and there's an athlete in there at the core. I just ate him.
Like
So
camouflage.
yeah. So, but it's still there. What do you mean? What do you think? But yeah, so I don't know why that gets me when I get some tiny little dude on Facebook. He's 5'6", 127, and makes a comment, and I bet you can't even breathe after that. I said, why don't you come here? Let's have an athletic competition. Let's see what happens. First, let's arm wrestle. I'll break your arm. Then let's go run a mile. I'll run faster than you. Then let's play basketball. I'll frickin' run them straight over. And just do a bunch of stuff, a bunch of things. Throw some stuff and catch some stuff.
Shot put.
Yeah. Well, Brian Orr's brother Nathan Orr, we had a competition like where we were gonna do like a 5 or 6, a 6 event competition.
Like a heptathlon.
He had no chance. Like one of them was Grace. Yeah, that freaking, which is 30 clean and jerks for time at 135. I guarantee he couldn't even do 135 once. We had like a discus. It was a bunch. I don't know why we never did it, but I was gonna win. 8 out of 8, no question, guaranteed. But yet he was confident as heck. So Anyway, I don't know why that gets me every time. Maybe I'm insecure that I'm going to lose. It's not even about losing. It's like, have a little bit more faith in me. Like we can't just because you can't box jump 36 inches because you're a little freaking baby doesn't mean I can't.
Yeah, we have some chatters here. OG Olympics. Maybe that could be at the open house. We'll have a test of strength.
They gotta put quick disconnects on.
We gotta, put quick disconnects on all these little girly men and be like, I can't break the quick disconnect loose. It's too tight. So go get your wife and have her get it off. Have her break it loose for you, little freaking baby. So arrogant. No, it's just reality. You're calling me, you're saying I suck. And so of course I'm going to respond with I don't suck. That doesn't make you arrogant. It's just, in fact, it makes me just trying to not look like a baby. Because you think I'm a baby, and I'm not a baby. I'm a freaking real man here. Just ate a real man. So, whatever.
There you have it. So good job, Bryce, on the thumbnail today. Let's see. Mike, who usually does our thumbnails out, he had his gallbladder removed today. So hopefully he's on the mend and not watching this right now. Let's see. Justin has a question here in the chat. Matt, did you say that Dr. Beasley's metal coat was good for over 1,500 degrees Fahrenheit and you were going to coat your grill with it?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, that's what they... I called them right before I made the little short. Is that from the OG short? Is that up? Or is that an OG long?
That's on short.
Oh, okay. I haven't even seen the channel yet. I should probably look at it. I wasn't sure if it was live yet or not.
It's like hidden.
Oh.
So it's on
You got to search for it.
Got it. Yeah, but 1,500 degrees. I was shocked, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this stuff is amazing!"
It's hot.
Like I thought it was, whatever. You can kind of coat some things, like your, I don't know, like I coated the strut tower brace. I'm like, well, shoot, if you can put it on an exhaust, then game over. It's awesome. I'm gonna put it on all of my cooking stuff and I'm gonna put it on my Evo, my grill, my cooktop, my fridge, freezer, microwave.
Everything.
Dishwasher,
Son, daughter.
stainless steel utensils used for flipping burgers. I don't know, everything.
All right, so there you go, Justin. Yes, is the answer. Mr. Schnell wants to know what color did you decide on a color, I guess, for the GT3 Touring that you were...
I haven't decided anything. That's like so far in the future, being several months from now, that I have no idea. Yeah,
All right,
sure.
DE10 says, I noticed the Vitamix in your house tour. Are you happy with it? I'm looking at getting one myself. I thought for sure you would have the 1K plus industrial one that you see at Starbucks.
Yeah, I searched this quite a bit because I didn't want some freaking multi-level marketing nonsense. The Vitamix, I guess you could say used to be like this just weird, marketing thing. I guess it's not multi-level marketing, but weird, like as seen on TV thing. And so I'm like, I don't want that, but come to realize that it's like the best option. And I was looking at, I forget what the other competing brand is that's not as douchey. But I don't know. I don't remember which one I have, but what is it, like $500-600 or something those things cost. But I did want something professional grade, but I couldn't figure it out. And I just bought that one just to give it a shot, and it's actually really good. So I have, I think it was like the $600 one or something like that. But it works great. I haven't had to do anything to it other than just grind up ice and all kinds of cool stuff.
All right, let's see what else we got in the chat here. Any Bay Optics headlight plans for the E46 M3? Jack wants to know.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, maybe. Might not be a bad idea. Especially if I get a hold of a new set. I don't know if those are available. I haven't even thought about the E46. It's shipping on Monday, so should have it, maybe late next week. I hope not. I signed up for this open house thing, and that's a terrible idea because we're not even close to ready. Whatever. We're just going to show them what we got and where we're at.
It'll never be perfect and ready, so may as well do it.
Yeah, but I mean, it couldn't be any less prepared. Not possible.
Excuse me. Eric L. says, do you and your team use any sort of project management software? Yes. We have some teams using Monday. That's what they use, Monday.com. It is pretty good.
But me,
like it.
no, I don't use
he doesn't.
anything. I use my brain.
Let's see. We have a Frozen Tink says, signing up for Hex Plus was the best money I've spent all year. Really enjoy all the behind-the-scenes content.
I'm making a video today, so I'll show you what's going on. Fighting with the contractors, unboxing Volk TE37 XTs for the Raptor, the Gen 2. Put together a Viper chair, did some dry ice cleaning, all kinds of stuff. Really good.
All right, let's see. Shaz29 says, I already have the M12 Fuel quarter-inch hex impact driver and M12 Fuel hammer drill. What are the next 3 to 5 tools to get, including something to help me remove wheels? Thanks.
I think you probably want, especially if it's just for wheels, I think you want the mid-torque version. I forget what the model number is. I'm finding myself not using the extended anvil, the big high-torque version, but the new version of the mid-torque, which I think we have them in stock, is freaking awesome. And then you want it with a half-inch anvil. And then you just get yourself a little socket and extension for it. But I use that one almost exclusively to remove lugs. I think anything torqued under like 150 foot-pounds, that one's good to go.
All right, Kevin Kerp says, hey, OG, I just got my first press-alls. I didn't realize how stout the sprayer was. You should add a picture showing it in comparison to a normie sprayer like Adams. These are frickin' amazing.
Yeah, they're really, really good. And I think they're only going to get better over time, I still want better atomization, a little more predictability of the atomization, and continued improvements. What I'd love to have, there's some way for it to lock on, where you tightened it and it locked. That would be sick. Because they don't come undone as much as quasars. That's why I hated quasars, because the frickin' thing comes undone all the time, like every time you pull the trigger. But I do find myself tightening it down more than I'd like.
All right, let's see. Lots of people want to see the OG Olympics. My wife is chiming in from the road. She's watching while she's driving. That's probably not good. Please set that up, she says. Yeah, lots of people want OG Olympics.
So what are we doing? OG Olympics here?
Yeah, open house. We'll add that to the list of things we're not ready for.
Yeah.
Now maybe
me and Tommy are going to kill everybody.
Maybe in the fall we'll have the OG Olympics. All right.
You had me at deadlifting, but you gave that up. So now what? Yeah, Michelle would win probably.
Yeah, she'd beat everyone.
Yeah.
All right. Cody says, question: my concrete block stem wall is 13 inches high. Mm-hmm. Is that too high to wall mount Sabre cabinets from the floor?
Let's see. 13.
What are the outlets?
That's like roughly. So the cabinet is 30 inches tall. So that would put your counter height at 43. No, I don't think so. I believe my countertop height is at 41. That would put the height of the cabinet. So that would put you at probably 45 with with an 1 3/4 cabinet. So, or countertop. I don't think so. I mean, now if you're really short, that's going to be kind of annoying. Like if you're 5'8" or below, that's going to not be super comfortable to work on. But I would say if you're 6 feet, tall, then I mean that's not a terrible height in many ways. Having a little higher is not too bad. So yeah, I don't think it would be a problem. The other thing you could do with the stem wall is you could, depending on how far out the stem wall sticks, usually it's a few inches, you could fur it out. You could build the wall out, which would be a lot of work, a lot of extra work. But I'd be inclined to just put it right over top. The other options you could do, you could do the feet and just build the cabinet, set up, and just push it as far back as you can get it.
All right, a couple of people in the chat are asking if it was Blendtec. Is that the other one you were looking at here?
Yep, I think that's it. Yep.
So Blendtec versus Vitamix. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Good call, people. Brandon says, slightly off topic, but I have an E92 BMW. I'm having water leaks. Dealer said the sunroof cassette is leaking into the rear footwell. $4,000, I guess, to fix. Any thoughts since you have an E92 as well?
Yeah, I mean, if it's going to cost that much to fix, then I would do a carbon roof retrofit. So you have somebody, they cut out the spot welds and replace the roof, it'd probably cost a couple $1,000 versus twice that to do a carbon roof.
All right, let's see. Our own Brad Bacon wants to know, is the raccoon okay? Last I saw, he was still out there.
Yeah. You going to go in there and get him out?
I don't think so.
He's in the dumpster.
Yeah, we have a raccoon in the dumpster.
Little like adolescent raccoon, little not quite a baby, but not fully grown, just kind of chilling in there. I think he broke his spine, is why he's stuck in the corner there. But my mom says he's just chilling.
They even looked up earlier what to feed a raccoon and went out and fed him something. I think. Craig wants to know, hey Matt, how is your Yeti SB100? Did you get AXS wireless shifting fitted onto your bike?
Yeah, I did that AXS platform. AXS is the one where it's electronic shifting as batteries instead of cables. It's great. I mean, I haven't ridden it much lately, but I forget how many miles I've ridden it, but 300 or 400 or something like that. So I've ridden it quite a bit, and I just haven't been out to the trails in a while. The problem is that I was on a real hot streak, riding like 2-3 days a week, and then I got like tendonitis in my elbow. It was freaking driving me crazy, and then I hurt my elbow from that whatever tendonitis. I'm making up what it is, but I'm assuming that's what it is. It's like right here. And then I did like a high volume pull up workout after doing a failed muscle up the day before. And since then I've been struggling. I'm finally starting to feel like it's getting better. So I've been swallowing my pride and doing ring rows instead of pull-ups. Which pull-ups are something I'm usually pretty good at. So I haven't been riding because that's just going to aggravate the heck out of it.
All right, let's see here. Mike C wants to know, what is ideal for cleaning chrome exhaust tips? Steel wool. How do you say that? Quad-aught, or what was the term?
Yeah, quadruple aught.
Quadruple aught, or a drill with a ball buster.
Well, they're probably not chrome. I would think that they're polished stainless. If that's the case, then I don't like to use like a machine on something like that. I would usually just get some like Mother's metal polish and just polish it out. But you could also try doing the OSSO stuff that we have. And if they're polished, if it's polished and you do steel wool, it's still gonna I think it's still, even quadruple aught, correct me if I'm wrong, will still, maybe it won't mar it. Another thing you could try is P21S polishing soap on there, but I would think OSSO would clean it up real quickly.
And OSSO is now in the store. We finally got it in, so comes in a quart size or gallon. Stops rust, prepares rusted surfaces for painting. Will amaze. Go back and watch the video if you haven't seen the video on OSSO.
It's good.
Let's see here. Bryce Holland says, just use my active pressure washer today, and let me tell you, this thing is legit for the price. Mm-hmm. My foam especially is much better.
Yeah.
So, not sure what you had before, but it sounds like you like the active.
Yeah, really good. It's funny reading the comments. I get 2 or 3 or maybe 10 comments a day on that original video where I'm like leveling with people. Say, look, here's the deal. Like, here's the real. This is what I'm telling you, to get your wife to help you, remove your fittings if you have a leak. It's a $200 pressure washer, but it has legit output. And, it's going to last 100 hours or so. And if you're, give or take, some people are going to get 3 hours out of it. Some people are going to get 200 hours out of it. But on average, you're going to get 100 hours out of it. But it's still a cheap pressure washer with really great performance. It's not great quality, but it has great performance. And if you go into it knowing that, then you're going to enjoy the experience. There's no question.
Let's see here. Eric Carter says, is the Rag Company Gauntlet drying towel much better than traditional waffle weave towels?
The Gauntlet is a shaved twist loop, and a twist loop towel tends to be a bit more absorbent. It's a 70-30 towel, just like a waffle weave. But for whatever reason, the way you get a lot more surface area, a lot more GSM, a lot more weight to a twist loop towel than you do out of a traditional waffle weave. Waffle weaves work great, but this is like next level. The perception is that it's softer. It's really not. Is it feels softer to your hand. What it is, it's just there's more surface area, so it's a bit more absorbent.
Let's see here. John wants to know, any update on the vacuum testing?
Yeah, I mean, we want to do a bunch of vacuums, so we headed down the path and tried to buy them. We can't get them. Like, I wanted to buy, there's like 25 vacuums I had picked out I want to buy, and can't buy any of them. There's like, 12-week waits, and so I said, let's just hold up. And then, Festool told us they're not opening any new dealers. They can't even get the product for the dealers they have, so is the world we currently live.
Stephen Oliver says, it could be, referring to your elbow thing earlier, your first rib out of line. It happens to me. Causes tennis elbow-like symptoms without doing anything to aggravate it at all, and it gets worse if you use it more.
I don't think so.
Who knows?
It's a very clear, like, it'll tend to click at times, like kind of have to wiggle around it. But yeah, I don't think there's any problem with my ribs or my back or anything. It's just it's an elbow thing, and I don't think it's tennis. I think it's the golfer. Forget which one's which.
I had the same thing last year. I bought one of those bands, thinking that would help
Flossing, yeah.
It didn't help very much. Time is all it took. Time.
Lay off time, yep. Because I was icing it, 3 times a day for like a month, and I didn't do squat, and using an anti-inflammatory, and I just needed to lay off.
Ryan Ross says here in the chat, just placed my order for Osvo. Can't wait to try it on my stinky old exhaust.
Yeah. Yeah, it's super enjoyable. The older the better, and I think that's what people love to see love to see all the transformations.
All right, we have a question here from John when it comes to Tesla. Matt, in one of your videos, you were looking for floor mats for the Tesla. Have you ever seen MacSpider 3D mats? So I looked them up. This is what they look like.
No. Yes, I have seen those.
Exclusive for Tesla Model 3/Y.
Is that rubber, though?
I don't know. Make, model, year. Product info. Let's see. Digitized fit, waterproof.
That does look good. Sleek carbon fiber texture design.
Enhanced style and elegance to your vehicle.
Get out of here. That's a buzzword for me. Run the other way. That does look pretty legit, though. Those floor mats are really bad in the Tesla. They don't vacuum up for squat. Yeah, maybe I'll have to test those out.
You could pour a whole Coke in there and it'll catch it. Huh. Yeah, thanks for the... Who's that, John? Yeah, thanks, John.
Because I hate WeatherTech mats. I think they're terrible. They get all floppy. There's nothing precision fit about a frickin' WeatherTech mat. Not good.
All right, let's see here. Bailey says, hey, Matt, been a subscriber since under 1,000 subscribers. Love the Tesla content as I have the same vehicle. Keep it up, man.
Yeah, I messed up the Tesla pretty good this week. I had to get the adhesive off from the side skirts. And that, that little lower rocker area is super soft. Like, the paint just comes right off. And so I bought a new, I don't like, the eraser wheel on the drill never worked for me. It just heats up like 1,000,000 degrees and doesn't even take the thing off. And so it just pushes the stuff around. I don't know, maybe I'm doing something wrong. I've tried 3 or 4 different times, bought 3 or 4 different versions of it. This one I learned from my painter buddy, Jose. He has I just ordered it the other day, a Dynablade. Dyna something or other, Nitro. So it's a pneumatic driven eraser wheel that I'll show you soon. I'll have it in a video.
We got some feedback here on the those mats. They clean, don't fade. They are legit. What else here? I'll get back to it when it comes up. We have a super chat from our buddy Yoshi, 1999. Jeff said he would take the raccoon home. That's a good idea, actually. We should send a camera home with Jeff.
It's funny, that raccoon has the same eyes as my dog. He looks from one person to the next, He's just sitting there looking all sad. like looking left, right. I'm like, dude, we put a pallet in there to try to get it and see if he can climb out. That's why I think he broke his spine or something. He's laying in the corner.
Yeah, we had a couple out there months ago. One of them was mean. He would hiss and like
Yeah.
do the whole clawing thing at us. A little scary. This one seems, he's nicer.
Yeah, until you go try to pick him up and it'll rip your face off.
Bailey says, with regard to those mats, it's not a rubber feel. It's very rough, almost like composite material, and they do a great job and clean up great. I'm going to have to give those a shot.
Yeah, I do need to do something because the floor mats in the Tesla are like worst floor mats I've ever seen.
Ivan says he just saw your latest new home update video, which came out today, I think, maybe last night.
Yep.
You mentioned getting different garage doors, I think roll-up doors. Which ones are you looking at, and will your HOA give you any crap for it?
I'm sure they will, but I don't care. I'm doing it anyway. It's called the T-Max, T-M-A-X, or you can look it up. They're out of Houston. That they're waiting on like one part to be able to ship them to me, but they're going to be roughly the same color, the same brown color that I have, on the current doors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a couple of trucks in front of the door and do it at late at night with the lights off, and then hopefully I can sneak it by them.
Let's see. Eric here wants to know, hey, Matt, would you consider doing a video on your overall experience across all of your houses in terms of what you consider for sure things to do when buying a new house / upgrades, etc.? Maybe after you wrap up the current projects would be very interesting as a soon-to-be new homeowner.
That's a good idea. I like that.
It's like the pros and cons and what to do for sure, what not to do.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Thanks.
Yeah,
Eric.
I could definitely do that. I should be a freaking realtor. It's like to be the easiest job for me in the world. It'd be so easy. The only part I'd be terrible at is negotiation. But just pay it. What do they want? I'd just pay whatever they're asking. Let's get this done.
All right.
Although I've been negotiating pretty hard on this Carolina house.
Yeah, what's the update there? We had some people asking.
I got the appraisal finally yesterday. Freaking mountain people. They call it mountain time. They live on mountain time, which is like nobody's in a rush to do anything. It's almost like there are a bunch of surfers up there. Only they're in the mountains, and they just don't work very hard. So the appraisal cost me $2,000 for a $200 appraisal, and they got it to me 3.5 weeks later than the month that I was waiting for to get it. But it came in $6,000 less than what my offer was, which I knew. Thought my offer was very strong, and they didn't even counter it. And my offer was $550,000 less than what they have it listed for, but is $170,000 more than what they paid for it last July. I made the offer in June. So they had the house for 11 months, made it worse, and obviously the market price has appreciated on things, but they were asking 33.4% more than what they paid for it. I offered whatever that percentage was, 7% more than what they paid for it. And it appears the average market in the Highlands is up about 14% year over year, or rolling 12-month return. And so, I'd assume it would appraise somewhere maybe $100,000 more than what I offered. But no, I was pretty spot on where I offered it. Would appraise for $6,000 less. So what when I asked to the people, I said, look, we're going to order an appraisal. I'll pay for it. I'll share it with you. And if it were appraised for close to what they were asking, then I'd probably pay it because I could get a loan on it, and that's what it's worth. Although appraisals are pretty much nonsense. I just don't think I know the house isn't worth what they're asking for it. And then that would wipe out, any potential future appreciation that I would have. We're going to be overpaying for it. So I, had my realtor go back to their agent, share it with them, and say, basically, ball's in your court. What do you want to do? My offer stands. If anybody, I guess people are thinking, well, someone will come pay cash for it, but it just depends. But I would argue if I was a cash buyer on that expensive a property, I'd be quite a bit more value conscious than somebody getting a loan. On average, maybe that's not always the case. I guess what a lot of the homeowners are banking on is that there's not a lot of homes available for sale, and they're banking on someone selling a really expensive home somewhere else in the country and then buying it with cash or something like that and just overpaying for it. But again, if you're showing up to pay cash for a multi-million-dollar house, you're probably going to want a better deal. So we'll see what happens. Again, everybody's on mountain time, so it'll probably be 3 weeks before I get any information back when I shared with them the appraisal that I paid $2,000 for. But I'm okay either way. I did my best to not get like, I want this, I'm going to do whatever it takes. It's, I want it. Here's my offer. This is a business decision. This needs to be a viable business. The good news is it's a couple $100,000 less than what I thought it was going to have to sell for. But I'm pretty dug in now. I mean, this is what I'm paying. I'm not paying over market value for it. I'll pay market value for sure. I'm not asking for a discount, but this is what it's worth.
We have a couple OSFO questions for you here. One from EC. Would OSFO remove oxidation from an aluminum engine block?
No. Don't put it on aluminum. It'll just turn white and be a mess. This is for steel, stainless steel.
Cody wants to know, would the OSFO be a good choice for slightly corroded trailer hinges?
Probably. It would help, remove some of the rust. Again, as long as it's not aluminum, I would assume it's not an aluminum trailer. So I think that would probably help you, yes.
John Bartlett wants to know, will one 30 milliliter bottle of CSL be enough to coat a full-size truck?
Yes.
Yes, we did mine and had a little bit left over.
Not XO, but CSL, yes. So you need 2 bottles of XO.
All right, GBag25 says, my peasant car has a crease between the wheel molding and body panel. Mm-hmm. What tool would be best to clean it? A towel can't clean it.
I would use a skin wedge tool and put a microfiber towel around it, and then spray some lubricating product on there, and use that to get in the crack there. But the skin wedge is basically your thumbnail in metal form, and so as long as you wrap the towel around it, that would help you get in there. I use that often to go clean all the cracks and creases in between body panels.
Let's see. Dale Hayes here in the chat claims it's his birthday today, and he wants to get a yo from Matt.
If I open up that Pandora's box, then it's not over. No one gets a happy birthday. No one. I feel so bad because I always get these wonderful wives and girlfriends that you can just tell that they're like superior humans, right? They're just great humans, and they always they make a really strong. They make a strong case for why I should make a really awkward happy birthday video to their significant other, and I don't think they would want that. I can't deliver it. It's just no good. But I've been thinking about also, I don't like birthdays and all that stuff, but what if I was thinking the other day, I was like, what if I just let go and said, you know what, I'm going to have a big birthday party. I want it to be my special day. I just feel like my entire existence is all about me and special, every day, every second. Especially now that I've got all the minions, I got this army of people that work here and are doing the bidding of whatever it is I dream up every day, and so I don't want the extra pressure of. I feel like I owe people something. So I realized probably 6 or 7 years ago I took my birthday off of Facebook. I also hate that superficial. I don't know why. Why do I hate that? It's ridiculous.
HBD, Matt.
What's that?
Happy birthday.
Yeah, I just don't like it. I don't know. It feels fake, even though it's probably not. I just need to let go of these kind of things, these judgments that I've got that are ridiculous.
Let's see. C-Mac wants to know, are there any updates on the Ego Stubby? Yes. We paid for them. So
let's do a pre-order. Let's get that rolling.
Okay.
Might as well get pre-order, get people in line. The first batches get sold. Just first batch has got to be prepared for, maybe it's perfect, maybe it's not. Just be ready for that. But I think it's going to be $60.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, $60, and let's set up a pre-order. Maybe we'll open that up next week sometime.
All right. Larry wants to know: is Ketra from Lutron a viable lighting solution for those of us who run small detailing business out of their garage?
I don't know. I'm in talks with Lutron about becoming a rep. Ketra, I believe, is the color shifting or color changing, color temp stuff. The only thing I'm a little bit wary on, Lutron doesn't do lights; they do lighting control. And so when a company steps outside of their focus area, it can mean one of two things. Meaning that maybe they found something fantastic, or they're just putting something out there without the expertise needed to do it. So I'm inclined to say that it's probably not very good. But most things Lutron are pretty nice, so it is possible that they've stumbled upon a great fixture type. But for detailing, I think it's going to be a combination of LS linear fixtures from Cree, and then CR troffers, which I'm going to be having to get some samples of. CR troffers with smart cast control via your phone will be color temp shiftable from I actually think 2700 to 6000K, which would be pretty sick.
Kevin has a good question here in the chat. Speaking of stuff along those lines, how does Matt do research for OG products / appliances, etc.? For example, how did he find something as specific as Cree lighting? Thanks for bridging the gap between high-end pro and us normie consumers.
Well, I mean, there are probably times where I'm making a mistake, and I've had several people reach out and say this Cree isn't that very good. There's better in this particular category, that particular category. But a lot of it's I'm trusting my gut. What am I really interested in? And there are a number of factors. Like what's their website like? How robust is their literature? And then I'm looking for an underserved area, right? So they have a pretty good site, but their content is non-existent, so nobody knows about the stuff. Lighting is such a weird place where everybody in lighting is so protective of the lighting information that they don't even realize that they've blocked the world from buying it. Right? They've literally excluded everyone but their core customer base, which they're selling door to door to. They've excluded everyone. And what they don't realize that all the people they're selling door to door to, if they just served the content up, if they created more information and made pricing transparent and all that stuff, that all their normal customers would not only continue to buy, they'll probably buy more because they'll understand it better. And so this is what I'm looking for in products now, as from a business perspective, is I'm looking for things that are underserved, that I have a real sincere interest in, that I a lot of times wouldn't have had access to in the past, that now I can have access because I can make promises that then I can go attempt to deliver upon. Like I think I'm going to sell millions and millions and millions of dollars of Cree lights, and I'm telling them that, I'm pitching them that, and I'm pretty certain I can deliver upon that. And so when I'm looking for products, a lot of times nowadays I've got so much leverage in that I've got all you commenters and people submitting questions and sending me messages or emails of there's a lot of experts. In fact, Mike, who's an engineer from Lutron, got me connected with a Lutron rep because Lutron has basically been telling me no. So it's a culmination of experts making suggestions that then I'm chasing the rabbit hole on, and as well as just personal interest. And then from there, my superpower is to sift through it and decide what do we need, and then how to explain it to people.
Along the same lines from Dimitri on Instagram, Matt, what is one thing you really want to improve upon for your business?
I mean, there's so many things.
List.
We're improving daily. I think the biggest, most important thing we're going to need to improve upon in the next 6 months is going to be either procuring inventory, finding inventory, or changing our site and making it very well known and having a system for collecting people's pre-orders and then managing that very specifically. Otherwise, we're going down the frickin' tubes. So one of those two things is going to happen. Either I'm going to have to, collect money on things. So let's say, for instance, let's use Osvo as an example, even though we have this in stock. But let's say this is not in stock and we don't have an ETA on it, but we have it on order. We're chasing them down. We're beating their doors and saying, we need this, we need this, we need this. We're placing more and more and more orders. And so, the stubby is another example. Like, wouldn't you rather, as a customer, just get your order in and lock your spot down, knowing that we're doing everything in our power to get it out and delivered? Some people wouldn't believe that. They'd think we're just holding on to their money. But, like, for instance, with I need some Toyo all-terrains for the Raptor, the Gen 2 Raptor. So 37 12.5s. And they're nowhere, and we're 8 to 10 weeks out. And so I went to 4 Wheel Parts and I bought it, knowing that they didn't have it. So that way now I'm the third or fourth person in line that when a batch comes, they're waiting, chomping at the bit to get it out to me. And I probably have 6 or 8 different products out there in the world that I've placed an order for that I'm just waiting on. And so I would much rather have it that way, especially as we're working towards automating and getting rid of as much paper as possible, where we can then tag orders of things that are out of stock, and we can sift those tags, and then so let's say when Osvo does show up, then we can go and we can sift through those and ship out all those orders immediately. So, but the key messaging to people is that, hey, if you order 10 things and there's 2 of them aren't in stock, then we're not shipping those. We're not shipping anything, and that's where we're going to have to kind of figure that out and make that decision. But that's the most challenging thing in the immediate future. What I think is very likely to happen, so what we're seeing is lots and lots of dollars enter the marketplace, so lots of stimulus, lots of money created per se. To keep things from collapsing and crashing, which is probably a really bad idea. It's like we're injecting steroids in order to run faster when your heart's going to explode. So, you might run faster in the interim, and so that's really what we're doing. And so, very likely, the heart of the economy is going to explode at some point. Hopefully not, but likely. And so we pumped all the money in. Everybody stopped working because everybody thought they were going to die. And then even after we realized we're not all going to die, people decided we're just going to keep not working for a really long time. And so all across the world, the supply ran out. And then we had a demand spike because we printed a bunch of money. And so now we have a completely artificially out of whack, partly artificial and partly by circumstance. We have a completely out of whack supply-demand curve, which means that there's massive demand because there's massive money available, and there's no supply because everybody thought they were going to die. And so now what is very likely to happen is the demand. I'm, for example, chasing. I need it. At some point, somebody's going to get caught with their hand in the cookie jar, in that the lack of supply, increase in demand is driving up the prices of things, which is causing massive inflation. Wages are not following suit on that because it's not like we're selling more. We can't sell more because we have less, and so we have this stagnation in wages, increase in prices. And then what will happen is I think the supply will eventually catch up, but the prices will be so inflated because wages can't keep up. And so we're going to end up with this major, economic meltdown where now we have oversupply, which we can only hope what would happen is that then that inflation, that stagflation, would then get swallowed up. But in order for that to happen, in order for inflation to get under control, they're probably going to have to raise interest rates substantially. So there's a lot of moving parts that are really, I think, going to be a perfect storm for quite a big disaster coming. I hope not. And I don't like to make predictions. I'm going to just navigate through it. But what I'm attempting to figure out is how can I make sure that this doesn't happen again, or I don't have lack of supply, and how do I lock down relationships and agreements from companies that they will match inventory of what I'm doing, and part of it is we're going to be doing a lot of assembling and manufacturing on our own.
All right, I have a couple questions here that I'm going to just go through and tell these folks to email support at Obsessed Garage because they have better answers than Matt and I do. The Active VE52 portable solution, this is from Gage, is currently on back order. Which item in the kit is delaying shipment? Is there a substitute for said item so I could receive the order faster? So that's question one. And what was the other one?
There's generally the substitute to the substitute to the substitute is also out of stock.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we would have the substitute. So again, what you want to do is you want to place your order, lock it down, know that you're not getting it tomorrow, but you're going to get it the moment that it shows up, and you're going to nail down your spot. That's why we have the back order tab. And I know that turns a lot of people away, but it's the world we're going to be living in for the foreseeable future. The other nice thing is that you're locking in the price, right? And so very few companies are going to go and say, hey, the only people that seem to get away with that are builders and their goofy change orders and all that crap. So you're going to lock in the price, and you're locking in your spot. And, yeah, you're going to be out the money and you don't have the product, but I think it'd be the most efficient way to get things.
Yeah, prices are not going down on anything, I can tell you. And Christopher Baker, then going to be ordering a Krenslow custom setup soon. How far out are the orders once they're placed? Again, Christopher, just email support at Obsessed Garage because they have
same story. Krenslow, you absolutely want to just stop waiting, buy the thing, and just wait. And I'm telling you, we're not like sitting around here twiddling our thumbs. We're like waiting, chomping at the bit for things to show up, and we're yelling and screaming and fighting and advocating for you. It's like we're lobbying for the constituents, and the constituents are the ones that voted for us with their money. Right, the ones that are sitting there that didn't vote, we can't really help you because we don't know that you want it, and so that's where I think it's important to lock it in. And I know this is asking a lot, and there's no way to just put deposits on things because then we'd have to track people down for the rest of the money, and then they disappear, and then you got more delays. So the best way to do it, and I've been doing this from the beginning with a lot of products that haven't had in stock. And that's going to be our focus of 2022 is inventory and getting it right as we can.
We have a super chat here from Stephen Oliver, $4.99 US. I fit a 3X, depending, and a 4X comfortably. Any chance on a run of bigger shirt sizes? Surely I can't be the only big and tall guy that's a fan.
The problem is nobody makes a good shirt.
Yeah, so I looked up on the website real quick. So 3X, we have black, navy, lapis blue, gray, and red, and the Obsessed Garage basic shirt. And some of the other styles, they don't make 3X or 4X, so we can't order them. Right,
and when you go outside of we've done this where we made 3-4X shirts and did a like for like, but the shirts are junk.
Yeah, they're different.
Yeah.
Bloodhand shirt is in 3X. Dialed in shirt is in 3X. So yeah, we do not have any 4X though. That doesn't.
Yeah,
tough to find.
Los Angeles Apparel, they don't make them, and so you get some substitute cotton Gildan piece of junk, and then you get screwed, and then I got to pay twice as much to get that shirt, which means you got to pay more, and so everybody's paying more to get a crappy shirt.
We also get charged more for screen printing on the 2X and 3X shirts.
Yeah.
So yeah, sorry about that, Steven. No 4X, but we do have some 3X.
Squeeze into it like I squeeze into an XL every day.
Yeah, we actually have a couple of people who work here, and they wear the 3X shirts. So we do have lots of 3X fans. Slipstream coming soon, and we're told we're in the queue. That was the latest. But then, like Matt said last week, we're going to have to get it here and bottle it, so that's still a little ways out. Let's see. Our buddy Brian checking in from California late again. He's been late a lot lately afternoon. Hey, Brian. Bert wants to know, hey Matt, do you have any plans for a separate home series or a separate YouTube channel aside from the garage aspects, say like appliances, home audio, etc., or is it just here and there mixed in with the garage stuff?
I don't know. I don't want to dilute my message, and I don't want to dilute. Actually, not my message. I don't want to dilute me. I don't want to dilute and have chase too many masters. And so I've fought that quite a bit. To have an opportunity every day that I could chase. And like just yesterday, I backed out of a deal to help fund and market a new product type, a new product delivery type, and how it would get shipped to you. And I backed out of the deal because I couldn't commit what needed to be committed to it, and it wasn't ready for me. It wasn't ready for the perfection that I'm going to demand of it, and I'm going to lose money doing that. But I think in the long term, I'll make more. And so I don't think I would make another channel. I think what I will do is, again, we're making the shorts channel, which is just clips and product-specific things that won't muddy up the main channel. But I could envision having a home-specific type channel when Destination OG takes off. So if the house we're talking about in the Highlands, we'll be doing a lot of home-specific stuff. And that's where I'll build another retail store that's consistent, but a bit more specific to like Hayfala and Columbia pillows and faucets and zip hydro taps and things where, again, there's professional grade underserved stuff that I can add some real value to that I would love to sell. And then that's where I would, house that content on a channel that would support that, I think.
Christopher Williams wants to know, can you top an exhaust with Dr. Beasley's metal coat after cleaning it with OSFO?
Yeah, just cut the OSFO. You can cut it with water. I used brake cleaner, but you could do it with something as simple as spray bottle with some water to get it off. But yeah, you can do it. You just want to get because it's kind of slimy, has that kind of it's weird because also feels a lot like a base, but it's an acid. And it has a slick kind of gooey feeling afterwards. You want to get that off of there because it'll keep eating into the metal, and you don't want that. And then it'll turn and leave a white powder behind. So yeah, just clean it with some brake cleaner, and then maybe some isopropyl alcohol, and then put your coating on.
To go back to the shirts real quick, 3X, 4X. Steven responded back here. He said, figured quality was the issue. It's all good, guys. More motivation to lose more weight. I've lost around 120 pounds over the last year. Wow, that's crazy. Thanks for checking it out for me. I'm going to buy them all now. So
I want to lose 120 pounds.
That's crazy. Nice job, Stephen. That's awesome. It's tough to do. Let's see. I had a question here from Ahmed on Instagram. I'm looking into buying Dyn Audio contour speakers. When will they be available in the OG store?
Just email me. I can't put the contour up on the site, but I can sell them to you, and I have some insight on them. I freaking love them. My Contour 60s, I want in the gray high gloss oak, which are still another probably 8 weeks out. Right now I have Contour 20s in the the red oak. I forget what it's called. Version, but yeah, just shoot me an email, matt@obsessedgarage.com, and we can chat about it. Man, they're so good. I love them. I have the center channel, the Contour 25 CI, but yeah, if you want 50s, 60s, 20s, just or I think they're 30s and 60s. Anyway, hit me up and we can chat about it.
Let's see. Subi Dude wants to know, hey Matt. They got the Rytec door, I guess his work or home. Have you decided which type of doors you're going to use for the yarn building?
So frustrating. I keep freaking calling companies and trying to get doors, and I can't get a quote. But I want to do CHI, I think it's a 6282 is the model number. I can't remember what the exact model number is, but I'm doing a CHI Poly 7.2 R value, medium speed roll up, which will have a LiftMaster, professional lift garage door opener.
All right. RNM Automotive Addiction wants to know, hey, Matt, what cleaning products do you recommend for interior trim, like carbon fiber, and exterior rubber trim?
Exterior rubber, you generally don't have to do much to. So what I do if the rubber is kind of dirty and has never been coated or treated, is after I'm done washing the car, I would get like a bug sponge or some sort of something to, or like a toothbrush or something soft bristle brush. Maybe I guess the Solo, or not the Solo, the what are the new brushes we have? The
Detail Factory.
Yeah, Detail Factory brushes. And get some, mix up some Green Star. Do we have Green Star up?
Mm-hmm.
So Green Star, dilute it. Just follow the directions on the bottle. Probably 3-to-1, something like that. And so use your all-purpose cleaner to just clean it up. The key thing to know when you're cleaning rubber is that if you keep wiping, black will keep coming off. Well, a lot of that's the UV agent. They leach or off gas or whatever you want to call it. But you're never going to get it to come completely black free on your paper towel or whatever. If you do, that means it's dried out and it's probably going to crack. So you just want to scrub it up. You'll see it turn brown. You could also use Brake Bust or something like that. So I always do this before I'm gonna decon the car, and so I do that, clean it up, and then coat it. Actually do that, dry it, use all-purpose cleaner, just wipe it. Not all isopropyl alcohol, wipe it. And then knowing that you're not going to get all the black out of it, you don't want all the black out of it. You just want to make sure you get all the orange and funk out of it. And then coat it with CSL, followed with a couple of coats of EXO. It'll look awesome. What was the other part? Interior?
Yeah, interior trim like carbon fiber.
That I just use a regular interior cleaner. Same stuff. A P&S interior cleaner on that. Just with the blue towel, blue interior towel.
Ken Jeeper says Beadmaker requires an initial heavy coat.
Mm-hmm.
Is Slipstream the same?
I don't think so, no.
Let's see here. We got a super chat here from Colossal Bryce. $10 US. He says, could you compare the Porsche Carbon bucket seats to the BMW Performance seats? Parentheses, Recaro Sportster CS.
Yeah, I mean, the Sportsters are way easier to get in and out of. You have that little there's like the little loop in the middle, so the bolsters go down and then up, and you kind of tuck your leg in there, and so you don't have to like push on the seat on the door sill in order to get out. Much like it's a non-event to get in and out of. The bolsters, just the way they're designed, really don't get beaten up. Whereas but they don't hold you in as much. There's not really a lot of bolstering on them. But they are wide for, made for people that aren't babies. So they are wide and fit really well. But the same thing with the Porsche Carbon buckets, but it's an event. It's really freaking annoying to get in and out of them, especially if you got anything in your hands. Like nothing's worse when I come home from the gym and I got a towel, I got my shoes, I got my lunch bag, I got a water bottle, and now I just throw stuff out on the floor, and then get out, slink out of there. Because if I get anything other than a laptop, then I'm having a hard time getting out. So a lot bigger an event to get in and out of the sport buckets. Like on my touring, I'm planning on doing regular seats instead of buckets. I love the buckets; they're great, but they suck to get in and out of.
We'll add that to the OG Olympics. How fast you can get in and out of them.
Well, you can get in fast, out fast, but you mess them up.
All right, here Andres says, "Hi Matt, I'm just getting started in my polishing/correcting journey, and I need some lighting. I'm interested in the Phoenix PD35 and Phoenix E35. Any thoughts on the differences or similarities between the two of those?"
I don't find myself using the Phoenix as much. If I can make another suggestion to you, would be the Sunmatch 3 instead. I know that the multifunction of being able to use the Phoenix light for camping and other things. We do the PD35 V2. They're changing them often. I think the E, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the E might be the slightly less expensive version. See, look that up. PD35E.
It looks shorter. Is it shorter?
Oh, he's talking about the E35, not the PD35E.
Well, let's see.
Is there a PD35E?
He says PD35 and E35.
Oh, E35, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the E35 is just a little smaller. Let's take a look at the specs. What's the lumen output on that? So that's $70.
3,000 lumens.
Versus, what's the P35?
Let's see what we claim.
Claim.
Blah, blah, blah. Come on, why are the lumens not listed there? We should go to their site. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Intensity, no. Output lumens. Oh, it depends on the setting.
Yeah.
Eco, low, medium, high, turbo.
I don't know. I don't know the difference. Yeah, you have to do some digging. I mean, it's hard to keep up with these, but I love the PD35, but I would rather have a sun match first if you're getting into paint correcting. The PD35 is a good multi-purpose, and I want to love that thing, but I just don't find myself using it as much. I use that for when I'm need to find something in the car or something like that.
All right, got another super chat from our buddy Steven, who lost all that weight. I want to make open house, but just in case, can customers stop by and shop? The in-laws live in Claremont, and it's too close not to try and stop by.
Oh yeah, definitely, anytime. Yeah, I mean we're closed Saturdays and Sundays. What did I say? Monday.
We're closing Mondays now.
Yeah, Monday through Friday is you can come up anytime. But yeah, open house is open to buy. I'm gonna have lots of good Mormon fire deals as well. Lots of fire deals.
Yeah, so get here early if you want to cash in on
Insane fire deals.
Matt selling lots of things.
Oh man, we got.
Your mom is very excited about this.
Yeah, she loves to clean out. So I've
That's
got
good
lots
stuff.
of audio. Lots of Milwaukee accessories and stuff like that. Some lots of impact sets. I've got tons of. I got speakers. I've got receivers. I've got preamps. I've got IK bottles. We're gonna liquidate and get rid of those. We've got we got a bunch of detailing things like where the label got jacked up, or maybe the bottle's a little deformed from shipping. So we've got lots of things like that we'll be selling on the cheap. Yeah, it's gonna be freaking great. I've got a lot of demo. I've got some demo Dyne Audio stuff. We've got some open box Dyne Audio stuff that we'll be selling like insanely, like close my cost or whatever. In some cases below that. I've got some Civic parts. Yeah.
So yeah, that's next Saturday, 31st, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And we'll be running a shuttle back and forth to your house so people can check out the house.
Yep. So just so people know, in the open house, total chaos. My house is a disaster. My yarn building is a disaster, which means that the building here is a disaster. But you're going to see it in real life, in real time. And then it'll be cool. We'll have one like 6 months from now and it'll all be put together. Or it'll be some other version of a disaster, just a little bit bigger disaster.
Let's see here. Brian in the chat says, what would you recommend for protection of a, how do you say that word, tonneau cover?
Yeah,
Tonneau?
tonneau.
Tonneau cover.
Yeah. I would...
You're getting one, right, for the Raptor? Are you getting something?
Yeah, I mean, if it's an exterior one, I would coat it with CSL XO. If it's an interior one, depending on what kind of fabric it is, if it's leather, like the S2000, a leather cover, then you would do color lock. Or maybe it was vinyl, you do color lock the vinyl. If it's some sort of hard thing, a hard shell, it's painted, or a hard plastic, then again, I would still coat it with the CSL XO like I would in the exterior. But like the cover on the truck bed that I'm putting on the Raptor will just be coated with the same stuff as the exterior.
All right, let's see. Chris says here in the chat, my car, when in the garage or when the interior is cool, has a pleasant leather smell. But when it gets hot inside from the sun, it begins to stink. What should I do to neutralize or fix this?
Interesting.
Maybe some cheeseburger residue in there. I don't know.
Yeah, it sounds like something a little bit more dramatic. Like, I find that cars that tend to stink you'd use too many fragrances. It's like spraying potpourri with poo. It just smells worse. So I'd make sure to clean all of your leather and fabrics really well. and don't spray any other fragrances in there. And maybe I don't know, maybe throw some baking soda on the carpets overnight and vacuum it out. Change your cabin air filters as well.
So there you go, Chris. Hopefully some of that helps. C-Mac wants to know, do Michelle and the kids ever hit up Disney/Universal? I was just in Orlando, had a fun trip. Would have stopped by COG if I had more time.
Yeah, I think they'll probably make the transition to Universal here in the next couple of years, as Kate gets a little bigger. But they did Disney a lot. Michelle was there a lot. We had season passes. Well, they had annual passes until Ryan got a little older. They're kind of a weird spot, and then Kate's not riding the big rides yet, but Ryan is. So unless you go with a bunch of people where you have a couple of parents that can kind of divvy up and divide and conquer, because I'm not freaking going. But they do go to Disney. They were just there not too long ago. But Universal, I don't know that they've really been there, but I'm sure they'll go there more. I used to have annual passes to Universal when I was in my 20s. We'd go there all the time. We'd go to City Walk like 2 or 3 times a week just to hang, go to the movies, go to dinner. Those are the days.
Let's see. We have a super chat from AMN Day 08. Have you tried ceramic coating those dusty light fixtures or other around the house items?
No, I don't see the purpose of that. The dust is still going to sit on it. So, and there's no weather right in the house. So yeah, I don't. They made them make it a little slicker, but that's not going to help with dust. Dust will still sit on the surface. So yeah, and I wouldn't do that.
I had another super chat here from Faisal. Hey, Matt, can we get shipping options to Oman? Also, options to other countries in the Middle East were super expensive. $70 for an orifice only. Yeah, we don't have much control over shipping.
Yeah, if it's a box, it's a box. And if it's first class priority, it ain't getting there. Not priority, but first class USPS.
Yeah, we don't even offer that anymore.
We used to do that, and 50% of the stuff would disappear. There's no tracking. And, that's just the way it is. You can't really buy a $10 part. You can, but you're going to pay $80 for it. And taxes and all the other crap.
Yeah, some people will, if they're Europeans or other folks over there, they'll get together, a little group, 3 or 4 buddies together and do one order. That helps a little bit with the shipping cost anyway. So, but yeah, Faisal, sorry, we don't really have a whole lot of control. We're able to fix that, unfortunately. But we do have, we are working to reduce international rates and have done that a little bit with UPS, but it's still going to be a bunch to certain countries. Let's see. Don't Skip Pudding, our buddy across the pond, says, hi, Matt and Chris. Do you have any experience with Dr. Beasley's plastic sealant? I've got some metal coat to try on the exhaust tips on my new Mach 1 and wondered whether plastic sealant would also be good for the unpainted plastic parts.
Not in recent history. I have used it a long time ago, so it's probably improved, but I would coat that instead. The CSL and EXO specifically does better than anything else any plastic-specific stuff I've ever used.
Dylan on Facebook says, maybe I missed it somewhere, but is there a dispensing solution for the 5-liter GSF bottle?
Not that I know of. I'm just pouring it into the funnel.
And those are, today is when the container was supposed to arrive to Koshimi, and hopefully we will get more of those next week. We're waiting on them. Let's see here. We kind of discussed that earlier. Nate on Instagram says, do you plan on giving Corvette another shot after they dropped a video of the C806 exhaust?
Never. What a hunk of garbage.
But he says here, it will be powered by a naturally aspirated 5.5
I don't care if
flat
it's powered by magic and flies. Never. Never, ever, ever again. That C8 is the ugliest car on the frickin' road today. I'd rather have a Pontiac Aztek than I'd rather have a Honda Odyssey minivan than that. Never again.
So there you go, Nate.
It's a stupid, stupid move.
Peter in the chat here says, is there a shelf life on ceramic if never opened? So I guess.
Yes. If you see any floaters in there, then you know it's toast. Like if it's starting to congeal.
All right. Faz G37 wants to know, how many washes do you get out of one bottle of Breakbuster in a foam cannon? Do you put the whole bottle? No. Well, I guess it depends on your bottle.
750 milliliters, and then a gallon is how many milliliters?
A gallon. That's 5 times that, I think. 750 is a
Not
fifth.
It's not quite 5. It's not 5. 5 liters is like 1.2 and
1.
change gallons, right?
1.32.
And so that means it's like 4. Let's just say it's 4 liters. And I'm doing 750 divided by 4 would be 3 1/4, right? No, 6 1/4.
750 divided by 4? It's
Yeah, 4 liters.
187.5.
Yeah, 4,000 divided by 750.
Okay.
Yeah, is 2, 4,
People are laughing.
5 and change. So 5 and change per gallon. I probably get about 6 washes per 750. Probably 6 washes. So 6, so 30.
And you're not diluting it, right?
Yeah. So I would say I probably could do like maybe 40 cars per gallon in the foam cannon. It's probably a little bit more than that. But yeah, around 40 cars would be my guess. Just how much is that stuff? It's like 20 something bucks, isn't it? 30 bucks.
Yeah, it's cheap. Breakbuster cheap.
So, you're talking about, washing 40 cars for 40 bucks, something like that. So $1 or less a wash. So it's more like 50 cents a wash.
JD Griss on Instagram says, we'll soon be ordering Swiss Trax flooring. Primary color will be pearl silver.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to keep it subtle.
Yep.
Will a pearl gray border provide enough contrast to the silver, or should I go with the slate gray border?
Yeah, I would do slate. I don't love the pearl silver, pearl gray combo. The other thing to look into is it looks good with white. So, but yeah, I would prefer slate and pearl together.
All right, good. Steven just spent $175 buying all the 3XL shirts we have, so there you go.
Sweet.
And stop by next time you're at the in-laws, Steven, definitely. And a new hat, good. Yeah, for our big-headed friends like me and James and maybe Steven, those snapback hats are pretty good. They'll fit even if you have a monster head. Let's see what else we have in the chat here. We got through most of it. This is good. Oh, yeah, lots of people asking about the yarn building. We addressed that a little bit last week. It used to house a yarn business, and it had yarn right across the front of the building.
I'm going to love that. From now until forever, everybody's going to be questioning, what's yarn building? Why do they call it the yarn building? I like that name. That's cool.
Yeah, it is cool, man.
That'd be like a cool nickname you had. Yarn.
All right, I had a question here from Facebook I wanted to get to from Jason Wallace. Matt, given your penchant for organizing, how do you manage home-related papers, personal papers, etc. that would go in a home office? I bought a ScanSnap scanner.
Mm-hmm.
Good choice.
Mm-hmm.
But I still can't seem to find a good way of organizing important documents at home.
I don't really have any important documents. So I decided one day that important documents aren't really all that important.
We basically scan everything and save it to the Google Drive.
I've got like one little plastic hunk of crap file thingy. So I keep my titles to my trucks and cars in the safe. I keep my birth certificate, passports, social security cards in the safe. And then I keep my trust and my will and trust and all of that stuff in the safe. And then everything else, the few, Michelle gets on these things. She wants to keep all the kids' stuff, and then I convince her to throw it all away, every 6 months or so. And all of that stuff is in like one little, whatever, yay size to say, for those of you listening on the podcast, say 20 by 12 or whatever a normal file size is. And that's it. I throw everything else away. Everything. Throw everything away. You don't keep registration cards and and old warranty stuff, and I don't keep any. I don't keep manuals for anything. Nothing. All gone. Punt it immediately. I hate books. She always wants to keep books. Like, get rid of the books. Give them some. You read it. It's done. Move on.
Let's see here. Ryan on Life says, when is Matt getting the GT3 touring? Was that months out? That's the plan.
Who knows? I mean, I haven't gotten an allocation, so who knows? I may not even get one. I don't even shred. I just freaking throw it away. I don't keep statements. The only thing I do is when, come tax season, the tax stuff comes, all the 1099s and all that stuff show up, and I put it in the top drawer, and then I hand it to Chris, who then gives it to Eric. And then they do whatever they do with it. And I do have a file with all my tax returns that I keep at the 7th year, and I take the old 7th year or the 8th year and throw that away, and I keep 7 years of tax returns.
Let's see here. Our buddy Neil wants to know, hey, Matt, have you ever thought about selling OG cycling jerseys?
I have in the past, yeah, but I don't think we're going to be able to make that happen.
And then Morgan says PFG style shirts would be great. Is that those fishing shirts? I think that's what that is. Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Would be big and tall. Yeah, I think that's just fishing shirts.
What?
Obsessed Mobile Detailing wants to know any suggestions on a DI system that has the built-in TDS meter like the CR Spotless but produces more DI water.
There really isn't one, and that's what I'm going to make it. You have them, but they're kind of junky. Like I have the DI Rinse, not the DI Rinse Pro. I have the RV Transformers, which I think Glenn makes that for DI Rinse Pro and all these other ones. So we're gonna have. My target would be to come summer next year to have a new DI system that's more stout, that's more capable than a CR, that looks pretty, that has some sort of housing that's wall mountable, that has a TDS meter on it. So that's what we're gonna chase.
Yeah, PFG are these fishing shirts, small or short sleeve, and there's some long sleeve too.
Yeah, I just don't have that cool. I don't have that style in me. That's like the southern gent style. You got to be a fisherman, you got to be a hunter, got to have a little bit of a southern drawl, And I just can't. I don't have it. It's not in me. I don't dislike it. Those dudes look way better than I do. So maybe I'll start rocking something like that. That looks pretty cool.
Could try it. Work on your hat tip at the same time.
Yeah. I'm just so darn white. Like I feel like you got to be in the sun when you got to have a tan when you got one of those shirts on. I'm untannable.
All right, let's see here. Daniel wants to know, do you see yourself ever owning an Italian car?
Just a 458 Speciale. That's about it. I have no interest in a Lamborghini. I have very little interest in most Ferraris. I certainly don't have any interest in Maserati or the Alfa Romeo stuff. It's just not good in general. I'm a sucker for quality and engineering and performance from that quality, not just performance for the show of it, but performance for the quality of it. And even then, I'm willing to sacrifice performance for that quality. And there's certainly beautiful things, but I'm just not into it.
JMS 493 wants to know, can you apply Colonite 845 over CSL/EXO?
No, it won't. It'll just reject it.
All right. I'm only reading this question because I want to pronounce this name. Christos Koukopoulos says, hi guys from Greece. Who would have thought? I'm thinking to apply a ceramic coat, and I'm between Autoglim's Carbon Shield, Nanolex SI3D HD, and one of Soft 99. If you use those, what are your thoughts? Thanks in advance.
I got an idea. How about G-Technics, CSL, and EXO? Maybe he can't get those there. I had pretty much all the Nanolex products maybe 6 years ago, and I didn't like any of them. Not one of them made the cut. I threw them all away. And maybe they've certainly probably evolved since then. So out of those, Autoglim, from what I understand, Autoglim is kind of like Mothers of Europe, or Turtle Wax of Europe. And I don't think Autoglim's really been in the forefront of any. This is just my snap judgment here since he asked. I don't think they've been in the coating game for very long, if they have at all. And I've never used Soft 99. Lots of people like it, but that's just a wax. It's going to last 3 to 6 months, 3 to 9 months, depending on your car. So I would see if you can track down CarPro, Seaquartz UK, or Seaquartz, or TiO2, or one of their old coatings or something like that, or get a hold of G-Technic or Geon. And if you can get a hold of something like that, or just have us ship you some CSL Exo. Don't we ship that overseas at times?
We ship to Greece.
Yeah, so we could ship that to you, but I would highly recommend it.
All right, Kevin Grant asks, as a reminder here for everyone listening, when is the open house? It's next Saturday, July 31st.
Yep, 10 to 2.
10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Address is on the website, 322 Oak Street in Lady Lake, Florida. Let's see, John, you mentioned this before, but he says, any thought of having fellow buddy YouTubers live at OGHQ? Would be great to have a lot of minds on site to chat and collaborate.
Yeah, we talked about that in the past, and I was planning on doing like a YouTube detailer summit and inviting a bunch of people. And obviously we're going to have a better facility to do that here shortly. But the pandemic happened, and so pretty much all travel was shut down, and so we didn't do that. But yeah, I'd still love to do that. I think I have the place to do it. I have all the toys to do it with. I could bring all the vendors in to get a great experience for everybody. And I think I'm probably the right guy to lead it. And so I'm gonna try to put that together. But we gotta wait for Canada to open up. Most of my favorite detailing YouTubers are all in Canada, so we need to wait for Canada to open up and allow them to go outside.
All right, let's see. I think we're good for today. Thank you for all the questions. Hopefully we'll be back next week for sure on Friday, but hopefully we'll see some of you at open house the day after.
Yep.
Next Saturday.
See you then. Later, people. Thanks for questions.